What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. And today we're going to do a special video I've been planning for a little while now, and that is going to be an in the bag with what I've been using for the 2023 season. A lot of the discs that I've had in my bag have come and gone in and out. I've swapped, added a few more mids, taken out some fairways, added some drivers. Been a lot of swapping out a lot of putters and approach discs. So I'm going to show you what I currently bag and what I just finished using for this last weekend's tournament. So here we go. First off, got the new Eagle McMahon grip bag. Bought this because my buddy, he had just traded somebody for it, and he said that it was one of the best bags he had ever seen, felt. He said it carried just as many discs as you could possibly need, so I figured, why not invest into an amazing bag? So we're going to dive right in and kind of show you all the ins and outs of this. First off, here at the top, in this little putter pouch here, I got my Berg in the K1 Soft. This is a new addition to the bag that I really use this on special occasions. If I want to give something a bid and not have to worry about it going very far, or forehand approaches that I just want to maybe 150 feet or in, I just want to get it close to the basket. This Berg has been life-changing. Everyone should use one. Then onto my putting putters. I've been putting with the classic, what is it, 10-year anniversary classic hybrid Judge. These things are amazing. For a long time I was using AVRs, the JK Pro AVR, which felt very, very similar to this. Very kind of gummy on the inside. A beaded putter that had a pretty firm outside rim on it. And for whatever reason, the AVRs, I just was having no confidence. My putting was down, and I was like, you know what, I just need to make a change. Went to the Judge, which I had previously used to putt with Judges. I guess not recently, but used to back in the day. So I figured, why not go back to the Judge? A lot of my buddies have switched a lot of my bag to DD, and so that's what I've been putting with, and I've had a ton of confidence. In fact, this last weekend in the tournament, at the end of the first round, I ended up hitting a 91-foot putt with it, and it's just all been confidence, just total confidence. So love those. Going to my straight approach disc is this pink soft proxy. This thing feels amazing, pretty rounded, tiny little bead on the bottom, but not very deep. I'm not a huge fan of deep putters, and so this is just a perfect straight flying disc. Whatever angle you put this on, it goes. This, honestly, I can throw just as far as a lot of my mids. I'm getting this to about 300 feet. So this is something that I drop a lot. This is something that I throw a lot for a lot of angles. In the woods, this is a go-to. And then my two overstable approach discs. I used to throw a lot of zones, and now I've been on this Star Toro. It's just felt really good in the hand. Very similar to the zones, similar flight, but I like it. I'm a big Innova guy. And so that's been one of my favorites. But for something super overstable is this Anvil in the VIP plastic. I will probably be getting something. I will probably be getting this in VIP X or something a little bit more stable, but this thing has a ton of glide and very, very dependable, very, very overstable. So that's it for the putters. Next, we'll move into the mids. I got my entire bag organized by section. So we'll go with Flippy is my Origin in the neoplastic. Feels really good. This is a fairly newer mid. I was throwing a lot of MD1s, And for whatever reason, I just could not keep my MD1s. I kept losing them. I think I lost 3 in about a month and a half. No idea why. I didn't throw them very much. But this Origin was one that I had been eyeing, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead. And this is a great hyzer flip to turn disc. Very good wooded disc. And if I want something to turn over quick, this is what I go to. If I want something just a little bit more stable, I recently got this Joel Freeman Metal Flake Chariot. I actually did a video on this when I first got it. Very, very like rubbery. Feels really good and tacky in the hand. This is kind of like an IS2 that Discmania made, and one of my buddies is like, hey, this is basically the exact same disc. You got to try it out. And I was like, why not? And I don't throw a lot of this Infinite plastic, but it feels really good. I'm a big fan. Starting to get a little bit flippy, but not near as much as the Origin. Won't turn over on me. It'll just kind of hyzer flip to flat, or it's great for big any shots that I don't want to turn over. Next has been a staple in my bag for about the last year and a half is this MD3. Currently I'm bagging this C-Line one that I found in a used bin, slightly beat in, and it just dead straight to stable finish. I think I have 3 or 4 more. I actually got 2 of them in this tournament that I just played in this weekend, and so MD3 I think is probably the best mid-range in the game. Might be a little biased, but that's what I've been using for the last year and a half, and it is an amazing disc. Amazing disc. And then one of the most recent additions is this Lucid Verdict. Been trying to find something that's overstable, and this is what I've been bagging, is this Metal Flake Gator from Innova. This is started out super beefy, very flat and like boxy on the edges here. And so I honestly didn't like it at first, and one of my buddies was like, you just got to give it a chance. And now that it's beat in, it's a very good overstable flying disc that I can forehand. This Verdict is, I think I want something a little bit more stable, so I'll probably get a Lucid X1 and try it. But this Verdict is great. Can just throw it flat to a slight hyzer and it just goes and then turns out. Where this Metal Flake Gator, I just throw and it immediately wants to get left. So this was one that can handle my forehand torque. Great compliments. I don't normally bag 5 mids, but I've been trying it recently, and I'll probably take one of these out. Maybe we'll see what the future holds for the mids. Then moving on to the fairways. Starting from the flippiest to the most stable. Flippiest disc in my bag. Very interesting disc because a lot of my buddies throw this. A guy I just met in the tournament can rip, and he throws this. But when I throw it, it seems to be the flippiest disc in the world. So this Orbit Ice, Lucid Orbit Ice Escape, super pretty. Love the Lucid Ice, Lucid Orbit Ice, whatever they want to call it. Love this disc. It's a great hyzer flip to flat. But recently, this thing's been, I can throw it on huge hyzers and it'll just continue to turn over. Great for woods. If you want to just trust something come out on hyzer and it'll just turn all the way over. Great utility disc. Don't use it a whole lot, but when you need it, it's a great disc to have. One that I've had for probably the last 2 years, it's been this Halo Leopard 3. This has been one I think I've lost twice. I actually lost at Emporia Country Club, hole 16. If you know, you know. It's the island hole. It goes straight over the water onto this little island. Basket's right by the water. I tried throwing this and threw it straight, nose up, and hyzered into the water. Well, luckily DDO was the next week, and so they had people go in, somebody found this, and they ended up returning it to me for free, which was a huge blessing. This I've been throwing so much in the last 2 years. Just a super straight to slight turnover fairway disc, super reliable, super dependent. You can throw it in a lot of wind, and not a whole lot changes. The biggest cheater disc, I will say, is this on forehand. Now I know what you're thinking, it's kind of a weird, but I just started messing around with it, and this is great for big anti-flex shots that I just want to stall out. If I need something to go 300 feet, but I got to throw this huge anti-flex line, this disc is money. Then next one that I also got in a used bin, I've been a huge used bin guy recently, and honestly when they're already beat in for you, they're just perfect. So shout out to the Andy Rulu for turning this into Ozark Mountain, but this Neo Instinct, I love this Discmania plastic, the Neo plastic. This Instinct, the 7502, is probably one of my favorite like flight number fairways. Super reliable. If you need to, you can turn it over a little bit, but if you just throw it flat out of the hand, they go. They go lots of glide, and then just a good reliable finish at the end. So this has been one that replaced my T-Bird that I had for a while. Then moving on to the, I think by far the oldest disc, or the disc I've had in my bag the longest, is this Sexton Firebird. I think it's been coming up on 4 years now since I got it. And this thing is just as reliable as when I got it day one. I ended up doing this crazy dye on it. For a while, dyes were a huge thing. My buddies were getting into it, and I was like, thought I would try it. Looked way cooler when I first did the dye. It looked really cool, and now it's kind of fading. Hopefully you guys can see it there. But honestly, this disc has just been absolutely money for the last couple of years. I ended up getting a couple more. Got to have backups. But this thing is just perfect on the forehand. Super reliable. On the backhand, I usually don't throw a lot of like super overstable fairway drivers backhand. But this one recently, I've been able just to crank it. So this, I actually used a lot this weekend at the tournament. It was two of the courses were golf style golf course and golf style disc golf course, I guess makes more sense. But this was huge. With the winds were up, I just wanted something reliable, throw it out wide and just let it crash in. This got a lot of use this weekend. And then the complement to that Firebird is this Helio Draco from Millennium, and this is a very flat Firebird-esque disc, but a little bit more stable, and in this halo plastic, it definitely holds its stability. This has gotten a lot of use if I need to just crank something over on a forehand, or if I need something to get hard left, but I don't want a distance driver. This has been a great utility disc that doesn't get used a whole lot, but when it's needed, it's a great disc to have. This is one I just recently put in my bag. I've had it for about a year, but it's a Innova Halo Beast, and the Beast is kind of a flippy 10-speed driver, and in this Halo plastic, it's just very straight to a good finish. It's a lot more controllable than some of my distance drivers, and I've been kind of missing that 10-speed disc. In fact, I think I actually have this disc here. This Kristen Tatar Grace is actually kind of what I've been replacing this with. Something that's just like a 10, 11 speed driver that is just a little bit more controllable than the others. Something that I don't need to go super far max distance, but that I can just rely on a good slight turnover, Throw these a lot in the woods, kind of these 10-speed discs that I don't need max distance again, but it's just a very reliable disc. Then moving on to the distance drivers, finish this out. And these seem to be changing in and out of my bag every single week. So many good distance drivers out there. This one I recently just put in a couple weeks ago because I've been practicing a lot of backhand rollers, and so this is my roller disc. It's a Prodigy H3 V2, and in their Spectrum plastic. Very, very flippy distance driver, 11 speed, but you throw it flat and it just turns over, holds a great roller line. If I need something to go far and I just want to crank it on a huge hyzer, I can do this and expect it to continue turning over. So I don't throw this much, but it's a great roller disc. That's why I put it in the bag. Then another one that I just recently got is this B-Dynamic Stamp Trespass in the Orbit Eye. Love this disc. It's pretty flippy, but honestly, the Trespass has been one disc that I've been pretty surprised with in the last 6 months. I've been throwing a lot of Trespasses. This one's very flippy, but man, come on, it's hard to beat stamp like that. The B-Dynamic, that's pretty awesome. With having Emporia pretty close, everyone here throws DD, and so I get a lot of hookups. Shout out to Randy and Clay and Seth. But this is one that I'm probably going to have for a long time. I thought I had it around here. I think the glass blown open version of this, which is super money. This one seems to be a little bit flippier, but hole 1 at Northwood Black, I just went and played a couple weeks ago and almost aced this disc on the first couple times throwing it. Hole 1, it's like 482 feet downhill, super narrow woods. It was like my third or fourth shot, and I threw this, just barely almost missed the ace. I don't know. Almost missed the ace, just barely. So then I got this Lucid Ice Orbit Trespass, a little bit more stable, great for turnover, flexes, has a little bit more stability. Good hyzer flip disc that goes a long ways. Then replacing my bottom stamp destroyer is this 2-time Ricky Destroyer, Star Destroyer. Haven't decided if this is what I want to mainly bag. My bottom stamp destroyer was my go-to, so if you guys have any that you don't mind getting rid of. This 2-time Ricky Destroyer seems to be a little bit more stable, but has a great flight. I'm a huge destroyer guy. I've always thrown destroyers, probably always will. This is a Metal Flake Tournament Stamp Metal Flake Destroyer. These Metal Flake ones are super pretty, super awesome, and so this is a great beat-in Metal Flake Champ Destroyer. This is a big forehand disc for me that I can forehand and kind of flip up. Backhand, it's starting to get a little bit flippy. I've been working on a lot of torque and power on my backhand, so this has been one that got a lot of use this weekend as well. Then I got my Cloud Breaker in the Horizon plastic, kind of a slight dome and then flat at the top. But this disc I was not throwing for a long time. In the last 2 months, this has been a big disc for me. Huge fan. For a long time, these were like super stable for me, and I was throwing the thought I had it here as well. I guess I don't. I was throwing the crap. So I was throwing the other cloud breakers, just the S-line cloud breaker, and these were so much more stable for me for some reason. But once this beat in, It is just perfect hyzer flip disc, huge turnover disc. This thing goes far for me, and this is the perfect finishing stability, but it will just turn over a bit and just go. And actually this weekend, there was a par 4, trying to remember exactly how far it was. I think it was 550 feet, slightly downhill. And I just threw this. I was not trying to get a max shot, max power, but I ended up throwing this on a good hyzer flip turnover and ended up getting to about 80 feet with an eagle look, not even trying to throw full power with this thing. So this is going to be something that I rely on a lot coming up in the next couple months, depending on how much I play. Then my 2 stable distance drivers is this Halo Wraith. If you know anything about Halo plastic and the GG Halo Wraiths, you know they're pretty stable. This thing, brand new, very stable. I'm hoping it'll beat into where I can get it to go flat for a while. And then a great complement is this first run Halo Destroyer. I've swapped a lot of Halo Destroyers in and out of my bag. I have 2 Calvin Destroyers, and then I had another one that I lost. This one seems to be the flattest Halo Destroyer that I can find, and I like the flat top for the forehands based on where I put my thumb. Just feels better. The new Calvin ones seem to be a bit more domey, which are great for the backhands. They got a ton of glide, but these things I rely on a lot in the wind for forehands that I just want to rip as hard as I can and know it won't just turn over. And then big hyzer shots that I'm not expecting to go super far. This Halo Destroyer has been one that I've had probably the second longest in my bag. So that's it. This bag has been a huge blessing, especially the last couple tournaments that I've been playing in. Tons and tons of storage. They got the side pockets that extend out here. Obviously, the normal grip bags have those. And then inside here, I got my minis. I got my arm sleeve. And then this thing, man, if you don't have a rangefinder and you play tournaments, this is huge, huge. I just played a tournament blind this weekend, and especially on a golf course, knowing your distances helped me so much. So that was something I would highly suggest. Bunch more minis, some snacks. I mean, you can fit a whole bunch of stuff. I got extra towels, sandbags, chalk bags. I got my main chalk bag, or did here on the side pouch. Then you got your water bottle holder. Put my hydro flask in here. Got a towel here on the side. And then the other side is the same thing. I can put an entire hoodie, which was nice because at the beginning of the rounds this weekend it was very chilly, and by 4, 5, 6, 7 holes in, it was not needed. And so being able to take that off and fit it in your bag and not have to carry it, it's a huge blessing. Then here on the back, you got a ton of padding. You got the chest clip here, so you can clip it across. Super comfortable, lots of padding. This actually, let's see if I can get it, opens up and you can fit some, I think 2 or 3 discs back here if you really want to. And then you got another water bottle pouch here on the side, and that's about it. So let me know if there's any other videos that you guys want to see down below. And thank you guys again for all the support. Thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll have a couple more videos coming your way. And before I end this video, huge shout out. I guess maybe not shout out, but they'll probably never see this. But these Cinco, or however you want to say it, mics have been clutch. Just got this in yesterday. First time using this with the new camera. Super stoked. Super stoked. So now we're going to have some good quality video, some good quality sound. I'm going to get a couple of videos with my buddies before the winter comes, and hopefully we're going to have some good content coming your way. So make sure to like, subscribe, and you guys will be seeing some more videos coming soon. Thank you guys so much.